Hello, Josh Pasmore with OmniOne, answering another frequently asked question. This one's going to be pretty easy and quick. How do you prevent freeloading, and do people have to participate? Well, people have to participate. I'll start with that. Not necessarily, unless there's an agreement. Like if I'm in a space and we're doing an event and one of the agreements is either participate or be out of the space, then I'll need to participate or be out of the space. Do I have to participate in everything all the time? Of course not. That's impossible. Do I have to keep integrity to my agreements? Of course. So you don't have to participate in something unless you want to. Now, if you don't participate in a venture that is making returns for people and their income is based on that, like a role, then you're not going to get reciprocated. So you don't have to, and you can even break your agreements and you lose your role. So this is covered in other videos. That's pretty simple. How do you prevent freeloading? It's not so much of an issue. There are many new paradigm centers. There's some that are learning how to be new paradigm. There's experiential centers where people are coming to experience the new paradigm. Part of this is our Sure residence, Synergy Hub Universal Residencies. And this is a place where everyone can start experimenting and start seeing what that looks like. And they don't own their home, so they're already starting in a stewardship model. They have a traveling residence, and they can participate in events based on alignment and agreements. Now, there is no freeloading in that case because they paid to be there. They're in transition. Now, when you're in the system, you have a role, you get reciprocated, and that pays your rent, pays your access. So once again, you can't freeload there either. So although if you don't, some access will be tied to a role, and it will be tied to education. If you can't fly the plane, don't fly it. If you don't have a license, if you haven't learned, you can't be there. You can't access that area. So it's not just money that accesses it. It's not freeloading all the time. If you have knowledge in this area and you know how to fly the plane, you might be able to access it, whether or not you put in money, because it's not freeloading. You're a part of this society. You can access that if that's okay. Now, if you're going to have to reciprocate in some. If you're not contributing for access to pay your rent, then you'll have to pay rent in another way. You'll have to work for a company and pay the rent. It's that simple. There's no potential for freeloading unless you're freeloading off a family member. And even then, you're not going to probably be in alignment. As we transition, of course, family dynamics and personal space agreements and space to do all that is always available. So it's just access to the main areas where we have agreement fields. If you're not in alignment, you won't have access to it. And you can freeload all you want. And if you're in alignment with an event and you're part of that society, then you'll be able to participate.